whoever has a Vidya, they have the ability to generate the wealth or money that's required for their survival. And whoever lacks this Vidya, that means they'll be deprived with physical comforts and the wealth. Paravidya is a divine knowledge. This is the only difference between the animal kingdom and the humans. 𝗓𝗏𝗻. Welcome to Ashta Lakshmi series. Today we're going to learn about the 7th form of Lakshmi. It's called Vidya Lakshmi. The word Vidya refers to the right knowledge. It is very hard to judge what is right or wrong. So basically we can say the relevant knowledge is called Vidya. So when it comes to Vidya, Vidya is classified into two different categories. The first one is called Apara Vidya. The word Apara refers to the materialistic world. The knowledge and skills that are required to survive in this world is called Apara Vidya. Whereas the Paravidya, referring to the divine knowledge. This knowledge is all about knowing the true self, knowing the creator and the creation and our relationship between everybody else in the surroundings and so on. So this knowledge is called a divine knowledge. When it comes to Aparavidya, that means the knowledge and skills for survival is not unique to humans. Every living species on earth have this Aparavidya. They know how to survive, they know how to find the food, and they know how to protect, they know how to raise their babies and look after them and so on. So most of us, when we comes to education and knowledge, we only consider Aparavidya as the supreme, and we spend decades of our life going to the schools, colleges and universities and to acquire the degrees and consider ourselves we are educated and we are smart. But all this knowledge is mainly to help to support us in our life so that we can find a job and we can survive. So this is what the scope of that particular education is. In this way, the Aparavidya is not really that special, because as a humans we may need this education. The animals and birds, maybe they never go to school and they don't have degrees and certificates to show somebody that they are smart, but practically they are competent enough. Similarly, many people think education is all about the school and colleges and universities. That's not the right thing. Any skill is an education. If a painter, if he can paint, looking at a person, if he can comprehend, and if he can, similarly a singer can have its own skill, a magician can have special skills, the dancers and players, and so many people who have different kinds of skills. But we only value and respect the skills that will help us to earn a lot of money. For example, some of the film actors and actresses, some sportsmen, they make millions and millions of dollars. So we'll value that kind of skills. But in real world, there could be many great poets or scientists or doctors or social workers, and so many people. They may contribute a lot to the society, but usually they're unsung heroes. No one ever hear about them. Doesn't mean that their skills and their knowledge is less significant, or the people who is earning a lot of money has a better skill than a doctor or a scientist. So education with money, the two things are separate. Here the Vidya is considered as a Lakshmi, that means it's a wealth. So because whoever has the Vidya, they have the ability to generate the wealth or money that's required for their survival. And whoever lacks this Vidya, that means they will be deprived with physical comforts and the wealth. So Vidya Lakshmi is one of the essential form of Lakshmi. Sometimes we may wonder why our colleagues or friends or relatives that we won't see any special skill or trade, they outperforming others or climbing the ladder quicker than us. And sometimes we get jealous and we gossip about those people. I'll give you a simple story. Once there is a carpenter. He's a very good technician. He's a very humble, hardworking guy. So he used to work honestly in his workplace. So once from his relatives recommended a guy from the village who is unemployed, so he asked him to give him a job and keep him as his apprentice and so on. So anyway, he helped the guy, the young guy, and the young guy came to the city and he started to work with this experienced carpenter. The carpenter was never happy with this guy's attitude because this guy is like less focused on his work, and he used to chit chat with other people. He used to wander around, take long breaks, and so this carpenter was really, he never respected this young guy. Anyway, soon the young guy came to this carpenter and said, I got a contract work, do you mind working for me on this project? So he needed a job, so he said, why not? And he started to work for the new project. And soon this young guy started to recruit more people. And to cut the story short, soon this young guy has become an entrepreneur. Like he became a big businessman, and he started to take the contracts from the public sector and the private sector and so on. And eventually he had his own factories and he had a big showrooms and so on. And soon he has become very rich and multimillionaire. The carpenter, the originally who helped this guy, is still working in his old job. He hasn't achieved any success in his life. So he started wondering, hang on, life is not fair. I've been working so hard and honest. I have better skill than that young chap, but despite having a better skill and being a better worker and honest worker, and I'm never rewarded. And this guy, he don't have a skill, he doesn't respect work, he doesn't have a good work ethic, and yet he climbed the ladder and he has become so rich, and I have to go and work for him. So he started to wonder. What this carpenter, the missed is, the carpenter has a very good technical skills, but he lacks the communication skills, interpersonal skills, management skills, planning skills, and so on. There are many skills that we weren't aware of. We need to be a good team player, and so many in our life. There are so many different skills. Usually, if we go to the school or college, no one is going to teach these skills to us directly. They only teach the subject, or they only teach the skill, but never going to teach these are the core skills that's required for our success. So this guy, though he is pretty good at with his technical work, he lacks all these skills, so he remained as like the same employee and he never grown in his life. The other guy, he thought he's wasting his time, but he was looking for the opportunities and he was talking to the people, and with his good communication skills, he actually get the better work, and slowly with his planning and organizing skills he started to grow, and eventually he became very successful. So moral of the story is, when it comes to Apara Vidya, it is very important that we should never underestimate the other person. If other person is climbing the ladder faster than us, life is not a race. We need to compare ourselves with anyone else, and we should not criticize or gossip on the persons. Maybe they have a skills that we are unable to recognize those skills what the other person may have. So this is all about the Apara Vidya. When it comes to the Para Vidya is a divine knowledge. This is the only difference between the animal kingdom and the humans. Only the human has the privilege of going to think about the God and knowing their true self, that is Atman, and they have the opportunity to realize the God, and after this they can do something about afterlife, and they can, by doing the good virtues, they can reach heavens. So this is the main difference. So as a humans, we are so privileged, and we must dedicate some time in our day-to-day life for knowing ourselves and to seeking God. So, or else there's no difference between us and animals, and we will be wasting our life. I hope we will find the right guru who can lead us and to the enlightenment, and we can realize ourselves and God in this lifetime. Swasti.